Good morning students. Welcome to today's session. All our portions finished. Revision also we finished. So today I am giving you mixed videos of all the portions that coming in the next exams. Okay. So I am mixing the videos and giving you. You watch the videos and thoroughly understand the portion and read the textbook thoroughly or 2-3 times. Okay. And lot of questions will come inside that from inside the textbook. So you should read that textbook very thoroughly. That is very compulsory. So read the book, learn well, study well and write the exam. All the very best. Thank you.
Weather, air and water. Mama, it's dark and cloudy outside. When we are going to school in the morning, the sun was shining brightly. While returning back home, it has become dark and cloudy. I wonder how the weather changed so suddenly. Yes, weather can change from day to day and hour to hour. It also changes during the year. It is hot in the summer season, rains during the rainy season, and cold during the winter season. How does it affect all of us? Let me tell you, when it is hot and dry, you feel thirsty and drink a lot of water. Tell me one thing. When it is cold, what type of clothes we wear? We wear warm and woolen clothes. Very good. Likewise, we wear cotton and light colored clothes in summer. So weather is the condition of the air around us. The sun, wind, the clouds and the rain are all factors that cause changes in the weather. Kids, do you know how are sun and weather related to each other? How they affect one another? No, Mama. Please explain. The sun causes the change in the weather conditions. The sun affects the temperature of the earth. When the sun shines overhead, sun rays fall directly on the earth. So, it becomes very hot. But in the morning and evening, the rays of the sun are slanting. So, the earth is not heated up much and it is not very hot. That's why the mornings and evenings are cooler than noon. Yes, have you ever wondered how the day and night and summer and winter are formed? Mama, that's so interesting. Please tell. The earth carries two kinds of motions. It revolves around the sun and rotates at its own axis at the same time. Day and night occurs because of the rotation of earth. The sun shines all the time, but only half of the earth faces the sun at a time. The portion which faces the sun have day and other half has night. The earth is tilted at an angle to its axis. While orbiting the sun, one hemisphere is close to the sun and the other hemisphere is away from the sun. The part that is closer to the sun has summer. The part away from the sun has winter. The part that has summer also has longer and warmer days. The part that has
Hi, my name is Emily Morgan, and I'm the author of Next Time You See the Moon from NSTA Kids. And I'd like to share a simple activity with you that can help you understand why the moon looks different at different times throughout the month. Why sometimes it looks like a banana, and other times it looks like half of a circle, and other times it looks like a big round ball. Well, to do this activity, you only need 4 simple things. You need a lamp with the shade removed, a white foam ball, a pencil, and a dark room. The darker the room, the better. Now in this model, the lamp is going to represent the sun, And of course, the white foam ball is going to represent the moon, and your head is going to represent the Earth. So let me show you how this works. We know that the moon orbits the Earth. So in this model, I'm going to get the moon, the foam ball, to orbit the Earth, my head. Notice that no matter where the moon is in its orbit, half of it is always lit up by the sun. But when the moon is in this position, I can't see any of the lighted side of the moon from Earth, my head. From this angle, you can see what I am seeing from Earth. We call this new moon. When it's new moon, we look up at the sky and we can't see the moon. It's there, but the side that's reflecting sunlight is away from us. Now, as I slowly make the moon orbit to my left, I can begin to see a tiny sliver of that lighted side. We call that a crescent moon. As the moon keeps orbiting, we can see more and more of that lighted side. We see half of the lighted half, which is a quarter moon. In this case, a first quarter moon. As we keep orbiting, we see almost the whole lighted side. We call that a gibbous moon. Then, when we can see the entire lighted half of the moon, that's a full moon. As the moon continues in its orbit, we begin to see less and less of that lighted side. We're back to a gibbous moon, but this time the light is on the opposite side. Then another quarter moon, last quarter moon to be exact. Another crescent, and finally back to new moon. And the cycle begins again. So why does the moon appear in different shapes throughout the month? Because of its orbit. The shape or phase of the moon depends on where it is in its orbit around Earth. It takes about a month for the moon to orbit the Earth. So when you look up at the moon today, know that you'll see that same phase again about a month from now.
Oh, Spiky looks tired. Let's give him something to eat. He seems to be fresh and active now. Do you know why Spiky was feeling dull before he ate the chocolate? This is because he had low energy. We need energy to work, and this energy comes from the food we eat. Energy is the ability of a body to work. There are various forms of energy. Some forms are heat energy, light energy, chemical energy, nuclear energy, electrical energy, sound energy, wind energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, and mechanical energy. Let's identify different forms of energy around us. A family is going on a picnic. It's a sunny day. The sun provides us with two different forms of energy. Can you guess what these are? Heat and light energy. Energy from the sun is called solar energy. Plants use solar energy for photosynthesis. The family is going to the park in a car. How does a car move? It moves because of the chemical energy stored in fuel. In the park, everyone's set up for the picnic while children are playing. Energy is also used to help things move. This energy is called kinetic energy. Now they're sitting at the table. Even sitting down requires energy. The energy of a body when it is at rest is known as potential energy. Now they're listening to some cool music on the radio. It runs on electrical energy from the battery. What kind of energy is the radio producing? Sound energy. Sound energy is produced when an object vibrates and disturbs the air particles near it. Thus, the energy of a vibrating body spreads out in the form of waves. When these waves enter our ear, we can hear the sound. The kids are playing on the swings. How does the swing move? The swing moves using mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is the energy possessed by a body due to both motion and position. Uncle is making a fire in the grill to cook food. What kind of energy is Uncle using to cook the food? He's using fire, which gives us heat energy. Heat cooks our food. It is produced when the particles of a substance start to move faster and faster and start to collide with each other. Look, a kid is flying a kite. How is the kite held up in the sky? By wind energy. Moving air is called wind. What kind of energy can we find in other things or people that were not doing anything, such as grandma sitting on her wheelchair and the trees in the park or Uncle's grill? Do you think they have no energy because they were not moving? Do you remember what kind of energy a body has based on its position? Potential energy is stored in a body which is at rest. Let's summarize. Energy is the ability of a body to work. There are various forms of energy. Some of them are heat energy, light energy, electrical energy, chemical energy, sound energy, mechanical energy, potential energy, kinetic energy, and nuclear energy.
India, a union of states. India got independence on August 15, 1947 from the British rule. Its leaders felt the need to follow a constitution, a book that contained all the fundamental laws necessary for governing a country. The Constitution of India came into effect on 26 January 1950. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee that prepared the Constitution of India. As per our Constitution, India is a union of 29 states and 7 union territories, collectively called the Republic of India. India has a federal structure of government, a central government in New Delhi that looks after the entire country and a state government in every state. This is because ours is a vast country and it is not possible for the central government to govern the entire country from a single place. State government. The 29 states, 7 union territories, and the National Capital Territory of India have a provision to have their own state governments. The state government consists of the governor, the chief minister, and a council of ministers. A member of the State Legislative Assembly or MLA is a people's representative elected by the voters from their constituency for a 5-year term. The governor is the highest authority in the state. The President of India appoints the governor. The governor appoints the leader of the party with majority of the seats as the chief minister of the state. The Council of Ministers is then selected by the Chief Minister. Union or the central government. The central or the union government resides and governs from New Delhi, the capital of the country. It has 3 branches: the central legislature, the central executive, and the judiciary. The central legislature or the parliament. The parliament consists of 2 houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha. It is also called the Upper House or the Council of States. The Rajya Sabha consists of 250 members at the most. Of these, 238 members are elected by the states and union territories. 12 members nominated by the President are persons having special knowledge or practical experience in the fields of literature, science, art, and social service. Elections to the Rajya Sabha are indirect. Members are elected by the elected members of legislative assemblies of the concerned states. The Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. It can never be dissolved. Its members are elected for a period of 6 years. The House is presided over by the Vice President of India, who is also the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Members of Parliament, MP, have to be citizens of India, 30 years or more in age, on the electoral rolls of any part of the country. Lok Sabha. It is also called the Lower House or House of the People. The Lok Sabha has 552 members. 530 represent the states, 20 represent the union territories, and 2 members are nominated by the President from the Anglo-Indian community. According to the Constitution, the term of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. The House is presided on by the Speaker. Members of Parliament, MP, have to be citizens of India, more than 25 years of age, on the electoral roll of any part of the country.
Every Indian citizen above the age of 18 has a right to vote.
The Central Executive. The Central Executive has the sole authority and is responsible for the daily administration of the state bureaucracy. It consists of the President, the Vice President, and the Council of Ministers, along with the Prime Minister as the head, to aid and advise the President. The Council of Ministers is appointed by the President on the recommendation of the Prime Minister. The Judiciary or the Supreme Court. It holds the supreme power in the judicial system of the country. One Chief Justice and all the 25 judges are elected by the President. The Indian Constitution gives the Supreme Court absolute power for enforcement of fundamental rights. The cases dealt by the Supreme Court deal with centre and state disputes and the transfer of cases from high courts. President of India. The President of India is the constitutional head of executive of the Union. He is elected by the Electoral College comprising of elected members of both the Houses of Parliament and the elected members of state legislature. He is aided and advised by the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. The President is the head of the Armed Forces of India. He nominates a small number of members of both houses. The President appoints the Prime Minister, who is the head of the majority party of the Lok Sabha and the Council of Ministers. The official residence of the President of India is called the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Union Territories and the National Capital Territory are controlled directly by the central government.